Hi, how are you? Welcome to the Live Love Talk. Today we are going to be talking about something again super important. As I always think my subjects are important, my topics are important. Today talk is inspired by the many times that I hear from my clients or women that I meet or women that I have met in the past asking me when is the right time when dating to ask important questions. Sometimes I hear women going on a date, going on a first date. Let's say she meets a man online on the dating app, and then they finally meet for the first time in person, and she asks him on that very first date if very serious questions, like if he wants to get married, if he wants to have kids, where he wants to live, all kinds, his approach with money. Even some women have told the guy that they weren't going to have sex on the first date, completely out of context. So today, Live Love Talk, it's about that. My intention is to help you to navigate the dating scene and navigate these very important questions for us as women in a way that will set you up for winning rather than losing. So stay with me. This is a little bit different than what some people are saying out there. And I truly believe it works. I truly believe it's the right way to do it. Just keep in mind that my dating coaching practice is all about being human, being women, being intentional, and treating absolutely everybody we meet with the same kindness, respect, and honoring them as human beings, not just as an object, as somebody that just has to give us what we want right away. So the question is when it's important and why my where my coaching comes from. So I truly believe through my experience with all the clients I have helped, getting in the relationships, getting married, with my own experience dating in the past. As you know, I went on 200 first dates in 2 years. I have learned what works and what doesn't work for most women. Now, I believe the advice that is given online works for certain women, for the least amount of women, though. For regular women, that kind of advice, and by that I mean the advice that is put it out there, is go on the first date and ask the serious questions on the first date. And that, for most women, it will backfire. It will really make the guy feel yucky, feel like he will feel like you have an agenda, like you are there to get what you want out of him, and rather than feeling like you are there to get to know him and to get to see who this man is. So that's why it really doesn't work for most women, because it doesn't really create a sense of safety. It doesn't really create a feeling of intimacy, of fun, of excitement, of all the good things that a first encounter with a man should be about. Okay, so why is not but I understand what you may be thinking, that you don't want to waste your time and you want to know right away if he wants to get married, if he wants to have kids, how responsible he is with finances, how much money he has, what is his take. You want to make sure that He doesn't want to just have sex with you on the first date. And I do understand all that. I am a woman after all, and I have been where you are at. Now, the thing is that all those feelings you have are totally valid, but they really don't work for creating a connection, a romantic connection with a man. They don't. So, my suggestion to you is to go on a date, go on a first date, and get to know him, get to know who he is. And the only way you are going to get to know who he is if you are in the present moment. If you are right there with your whole being, trying to see, how you feel when you are with him, who he is, what kind of information he volunteers, how he treats you. Okay? So, asking the serious questions on the first date, it's only going to put him on a situation where he's going to feel like he's on a job interview and he has to perform and give you the right answers. And unfortunately, that makes everybody, men and women in general, feel really closed off. It doesn't really build connection, an intimacy, a romantic connection. The main intention of going on dates is to get to know him, and see who he is, and trying to see if we can create a romantic relationship with a man. So that is the main intention of dating. So when is the right time? If on the first date, second date, third date is not the right time to ask if he wants to get married, if he wants to have kids, how financially stable he is, if he wants to live in a big house or in a small house. When is the right time to ask those questions? Well, there are two answers to that. The first answer would be when he asks you. If he does ask you, if he says something like, hey, what is your, do you want to get married? Then you answer him, yes, I do. What about you? So in that case, it's totally appropriate because he is already asking you that question, which means that he's seen past that moment. And that is perfectly fine. Of course, anytime a man asks you those kind of questions, be honest and tell him exactly what you want and what you don't want as well. So there is that. The second time is after, you have been with the guy for a while. Let's say you have been dating for 3 months, for 4 months, and things are going great. You like him, he likes you, your intuition is telling you that everything is going well. The dating situation, the relationship you are starting to build gets better every day, every week. You feel more connected, he feels more connected. As a woman, when things are going great, you feel safe. You already got to see him in many situations, how he acts when he's outside with other people. You have seen him probably maybe interacting with his friends, with your friends. You introduced him to your friends, maybe even to your family, and they are all like, yes, he's good, we like him, I think he's a great guy. So once you have been through all that, through allowing the relationship unfold over time and in different situations, so you can see who he is in different situations, if he's not talking about marriage, if he's not mentioning it, if he's just not there at all, that's when you can bring it up. That's when you can say, hey, I feel great with our relationship. It feels good to what we do when we are together. It feels good to see you, and I am starting to feel like I am investing more on you, and my feelings are getting deeper, and I just want to make sure that we are on the same page for the future. And so I would like to know, what do you think about marriage? And that's how you bring it up in the future. So not asking for, do you want to get married on the first date does not mean that we are going to date this guy for 5 years without asking him what he wants. No, it just means that we are living in the present, focusing on what is important, which is who he is, his actions, what he does, how he interacts with other people, with maybe your friends, maybe his friends, maybe, when you go out for dinner with the waitress. So you are collecting all that information. Hopefully, he is giving you clues of where he is at in those serious topics in life. Money is really, really easy to know, because if you go on dates and you see that he's spending a ton of money, he's charging everything on a credit card, and although that could be also not a sign, because everything is nuanced. But anyway, you can collect a lot of information over time, but the only way you are really, really, really going to collect the right information to allow you to make informed decisions in the future, it's if you are present. If you have an agenda, if you go on a date thinking, I need to figure, consciously or unconsciously, this doesn't even have to be a conscious thing that you said. It could be on the background. Unconsciously, you are like, I need to know if he wants to get married, if he wants to have kids, how financially stable he is, and I want him to know that I'm not going to have sex on the first date or the second date or the third date. If you have all that agenda, you cannot be present, you cannot be there. So a romantic connection, it's going to be really, really difficult to create. And the thing with sexual relationships, with romantic relationships, is that they are based on emotions. They are not based on logic. It's something that you sense, it's something that he senses, and all that can be sensed when we are present. Okay? If you find yourself being on a first date with a guy and you have this urgency to know if he wants to get married, if he wants to have kids, how financially stable he is on that first date, that means that you are totally in the future. Okay? It's not that those questions are bad, it's good that you have them, but they are not appropriate for the moment. There is a timing in the relationship. There is a timing. And trying to skip time, trying to bring the future into the present just because we are having this need to know and to control how our future is going to be, it's only going to play against us. I have had many clients that have met a guy, have gone on a date, on a first date with a guy, and asked these questions like, you want to get married, you want to have kids, whatever it is, and the guy had lied to them. They were married or whatever. So I am really, really trying to make you see a new perspective, that it's not the right time. The right time is in the future, when you already know that you like him, when you already have created, you guys, both of you have created that romantic connection, and you really, really know that he's the one, that you want to take things further with him. And that is a feeling that cannot happen on the first, second, or third date. I know sometimes it feels like, sometimes it's like, oh my God, I met him and I knew he was the one. Well, that is, it really doesn't happen. That's a story we tell ourselves years after. There is a study that shows that the same amount of people that are saying, oh, I knew on the first date, are the same amount of people that says, I knew on the first date that he wasn't the one, but they married him. And what happened is they were unhappy in the marriage. So after years of being unhappy, now they think that they knew from day one that he was the wrong one. Now, the other women that met the guy thought he was the right one and they were in a happy relationship. Those are the ones that are saying, yes, I knew from the first time. In reality, the reality of love, romantic love, sexual relationships, romantic relationships is that we don't know. And that is the beauty of it. The beauty of being courageous to follow in our dreams, of being in a romantic relationship with a guy and getting married, is that it pushes us. It pushes us to be brave. It pushes us to really trust ourselves and to trust who we are. It pushes, it makes us expand. It makes us expand who we are, becoming a better person, becoming more compassionate, becoming more sexy, becoming more attractive, becoming more a better communicator. Relationships, romantic relationships, and relationships in general are a dojo, are like a gym, like a fitness center where we get there because we are excited about creating something. And we become who we are supposed to become through all these things, through saying, you know what? I have this intense desire of having to know on the first, second, or third date if he is the one, if he wants the same things I want. But I am going, rather than succumbing to that impulse, to that urgency, I am going to practice being patient and I am going to practice being courageous. I am going to practice being my best self and allow this relationship unfold. And if you see that the relationship keeps getting better, you can feel your intuition. As women, our intuition is huge. If your intuition is telling you that he is really getting better, that you can tell he's having more, thinking about you more, he's doing more things for you, he's really doing things that he wouldn't do, but he, like watching a romantic movie instead of, watching sports, things like that. You say, okay, this is going somewhere. And that's what matters. Asking that question on the first, second, third date, on the first month of meeting a guy, it's only going to make the possibility of creating a romantic bond disappear. It's not going to make it stronger. Okay. And if you do have a lot of anxiety, some women have a lot of anxiety, and there are ways that you can deal with that. There are ways that you can navigate through that. So if you are interested in learning how to date in a way that you are not going to waste time, that you are going to accelerate meeting and creating and finding the right guy for you, let me know. I have a program, the Epic Love Accelerator, that is my private coaching. And I also have a group. I have a group where I coach on a group setting. So I have both. If you don't want to do one-on-one, you can do group coaching. And if you don't want to do group coaching, you can do one-on-one. The options are there for you. There is a way to do this in a way that is easy, that is fun, that is setting you up for winning, and where you are trying to control the only thing you have control over, and that is yourself. trying to control on the first date, going on the first date and asking those serious questions is trying to control the future. And there is no, I'm sorry, I wish I could tell you something different, but you cannot control the future. Asking those questions, it's just ruining your chances of creating a romantic relationship with the guy. So stay present, stay grounded, keep feeling how you feel when you are with him. You are not going to waste any time. You are not going to be with the guy for 5 years without asking him questions or without him asking you to marry him. It's not going to be like that. But pressuring him into answering you these questions, best case scenario, he's going to run away. Worst case scenario, he'll lie to you and he'll say, yeah, we'll get what he wants from you. And then he's gonna show his real intentions. Okay. This advice is for most women. Again, there is a small percentage of women that are blessed with the best looks. They have a lot of value to give. They are those women are different. So don't compare yourself with those women. For regular women, asking serious questions on the first few dates, it's only going to set you up for losing. So thank you for all the comments. Let me know if you have any questions, if you need any clarification, and let me know if you want to jump on a call to see if my coaching services are a good match for you. Okay? Much love. Bye.